In our church we had 3 master gardeners. Myself and Marvin Wright and Roger Votel had all been through the Master Gardener program. Kurt was very helpful initially setting it up and also providing compost and that first planting session. You get master gardeners together and they all want to do it their own way. And Kurt suggested, after doing soil samples, said the soil wasn't very good. And he suggested raised beds. So we ended up going with raised beds that out of cement blocks, and we bought some topsoil to put in there. And surprisingly, the ground behind that did fairly well, even though there are a lot of stones and other foreign material in there. Marvin Wright from our church brought a truckload of mulch he put between some of the beds. And there, Jim was very helpful with organic dust and stuff. We say the cabbage is getting eaten up, Jim, and he'd bring something over and put on it. He loved diatomaceous earth, and he'd bring that over and put on the green beans and stuff. In the beginning, too, we had involvement from Wabash High School kids. The health class there. They would come down there, about 18 of them. So we had about 3 waterers, and they'd take turns watering the plants, and someone would go over in front of the church where we had 3 other raised beds, and they'd water those. So we had a total of 9 raised beds, and in-ground measured about 15 by 30. And we planted mainly tomatoes there. Beefsteak tomatoes. We also planted cucumbers and squash and broccoli and cabbage. The tomatoes were from White's Institute. And we had people who were willing to weed the garden and water it. But again, you're getting people involved with something. My brother was another. He's been on disability for some time now. He would have a cane in one hand and the grabber in the other, and pick up the stones. And while we were getting 5-gallon buckets of green beans and peppers to take down to fish, he was getting 5-gallon buckets of debris out of the garden. So next year it should be in better shape. So we're sort of excited about that. He also shared some of his produce, and likewise I shared some of my produce from our garden out in the country. So fish is a community effort, and it's good that the Spark kids learn more about it. And so you'd end up with usually about 30 kids at a time, and there were another 30 kids that were coming in after that 30. And you know, you get done with one group and another group sitting back under the shade tree waiting to come over. They're real young. They didn't know anything about vegetable gardening. They didn't know anything about organic. We also try to get a little humor going with the kids, and wanted to know, I had sent 2 of them over individually to look at tomato plants. And I said, what kind of vegetables growing on that plant? And they came back and they said, apples. So these kids are learning the difference between apples and tomatoes. You know, they may see it in the grocery store, but they don't know what a small tomato looks like, or a small apple as it's maturing and stuff on the vine. They don't know what the vines look like. They don't know a tree from a plant. So within the city, they're learning about some of these things. They're learning about organic things. We also talked to them about where the produce was going to go, that it was going to go to fish, Friends in Service here. And that went to help the needy in the community. And a lot of times these folks would only get canned goods and stuff. Now they're going to get some fresh produce. So that, to me, is significant.
Hi, I'm Janet Shue with the Fish Food Pantry in Wabash, and I'm here to share a little bit about the community garden that provides food for us. They bring in, at least once a week, they bring in green beans and zucchini and summer squash and tomatoes and all kinds of wonderful things that help our folks have fresh produce to eat, and people just love it. They are so pleased to have fresh items that they can that they can take home and prepare. So I just am so thankful for the community garden.
Next year, we hope to increase the size of the garden, have 3 more raised beds, and hopefully we'll have a functional water hydrant there. Kurt's got a master gardener class that starts in January, so the interns from that class, hopefully we can get them involved in getting some hours in at the Sinclair Street site. I guess those times when more people were down there were the neatest.